Councilman District 1, Victor, where are you? Give him a big round of applause, lady, and give him your support.
Thank you so much. I feel like I'm about to walk into the middle of either a boxing ring or a lucha libre ring. I'm not too sure with that announcer. But I tell you that it is fantastic and very heartening to me that you all took the time to come out this afternoon and in support. I'd like to introduce a couple of people and have them share this embarrassing moment with me. My son and daughter, Maria and Jerry, come on up here. These are our two youngest children. Our two oldest are off in college. My wife was a lector this morning at the 9 o'clock Mass with my daughter, and then she had to take off and is driving to San Marcos right now. So I'm sorry she couldn't be with us. I will tell you we're a family of public service. My wife has served as a judge for 20 years. I've served as a public official for 14 years now. But quite frankly, we're both attorneys, and as such, we take the path of advocacy. We advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. We advocate for our neighborhoods, the people who live there, for the poor, the disenfranchised.
Thank you.
And we take that responsibility very seriously. I want to say a couple of things. This recall effort is something that is available to anybody in the United States, and I've said it in the newspaper, I've said it privately, and I'll say it again publicly. I'll defend the right for anyone to initiate a recall process. It's part of the democracy that we enjoy in the United States. But by the same token, we have the right to tell people who are trying to garner signatures, no thank you. And I hope that's the message all of you will take to your friends and neighbors, either by telephone or over the fence as you're talking to them. Tell them, no thank you, we don't want to sign your petition. We don't believe there's a basis for that petition. Tell them that we will defend their right to try to collect signatures, but we won't sign. I will tell you that sometimes these situations get very heated, very emotional, very passionate. And we don't need to give in to that. We need to be very methodical in our approach and just say no. We don't need to argue with them. We need not to respond to any fights that they try to pick with us. We just need to walk away. And I would ask you all to remain calm as they proceed with their attempt. That's extremely important to me. And I know it's important to you because I served in the military. I went overseas. I was lucky enough to come back, and I'd like to think that I and thousands of other Americans did that to preserve our ideals and our processes here. I know a lot of you are veterans. I know you'd like to think that you put it on the line, either yourselves or by way of your children or by way of your parents or other family members have put it on the line to preserve our ideals and our democratic processes. It's important that we understand the process. If they don't collect enough signatures because enough of us just say, no thank you, I don't want to sign your petition, then it dies there. And that's what we're shooting for. Well, I'll get back to Luis. He has some other words to say. Someone described this as a lucha libre. And I will tell you, then they called me Nacho Libre. I don't think so. I would hope not. But if this is a rumble, if you will, let's keep it civil. Let's just go on about our work. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends. With that, thank you so much for being out here on this beautiful day. Thank you for the organizers. People brought food, drinks, and everything. It was spontaneous. Thank you so much.
As he goes into the ring, let's give him a chant. Victor! I know there's a lot of strong feelings here, and we're going to give you the opportunity to emphasize those. If you'd like to say some words of support to what Victor just said, feel free to come up to the mic right now and do so, and let everybody else know how you feel about this. It's going to be a very emotional time. There's going to be, as Victor said, some emotions that are going to be set into place. But as he said, we're going to be above that. We're going to take the high ground. We're going to take the high road. We are going to prevail through this, and we're going to do it together. Benny, come on up and say a couple of words.
Buenas tardes. I just happen to have something written down. It was on Friday, April 19th. The plan was announced for filing the paperwork with the city of Lubbock for the effort to oust Councilman Victor Hernandez. Those seeking this recall petition have been quoted as saying that Councilman Hernandez has created scandal after scandal after scandal, year after year after year. That has been any scandal created by Councilman Hernandez, it's because he seeks and works for truth and justice. He has never, listen to this, he has never been a yes man, he's never been a rubber stamp for anyone, and most certainly he was elected because he is not a good old boy wanting to play politics. Mr. Hernandez is a highly dedicated family man, firmly committed to representation of those citizens to his North Lubbock Council District. He is in office because we of this district believe in his never-tiring commitment of service. Victor Hernandez, his record indicates that he is not a self-seeking, self-serving, attention-enjoying, wannabe office holder. And most contrary to the statements of the petitioners, Mr. Hernandez was voted to office because we, the people of this district, trust in his leadership. He is a man of many, or of high moral and ethical standards with strong Christian values. Yes, yes. Those who initiated this recall petition process, have stated that they want to see good government, good leadership in this area. If these are really the reasons for filing this petition, I suggest that you join me in support of Victor Hernandez. He is the one to truly represent all residents of District Number 1. Now, if I personally am approached to sign this petition, I would simply say, no, thank you. I do not wish to sign your petition. Or I would say, no, gracias. No quiero firmar su petición. Dios los bendiga.
Thank you, Vinny. Let's all practice that together. No, thank you.
Your petition.
Now bilingually. No, gracias. No, gracias. No, gracias. Oh, man, I can feel the power already. Pásale, señor.
Muy buenas tardes, hermano. A cada uno de ustedes les doy las más sinceras welcome en esta reunión que tenemos. Quiero primeramente decirles que estamos aquí in support of Mr. City Council District 1 Victor Hernandez. Y yo lo soporto 100% porque es un hombre con mucha educación y que entiende muy bien los problemas que nosotros tenemos en nuestra comunidad, en nuestro District 1. Pero, Víctor, te tengo un mensaje para ti. Como ves, en estos tiempos, te lo voy a leer en inglés. In today's political world, if you don't play the political system game, you will be ridiculous, which means you'll be criticized and made fun of not being a teammate. Well, Mr. Hernandez, I don't want you to be a team player. Stay strong and ask the hard questions and get the answers we deserve from the city leaders. We are not sheep that follow in packs of blind followers. We expect that you look for the interests of the people and don't let the naysayers distract you from getting the answers we deserve. All we ask that you do the right thing for the district and don't back down. Thank you again, Mr. Hernandez, for the service of our community and the city council. Thank you.
Buenas tardes. I'd like to first of all welcome everyone that's here today. We not only have people from the barrio Guadalupe, but from all over in different parts of the city. And that is one of the things that we truly wanted, because Mr. Hernandez, in one way or the other, not only represents District 1, but also the entire city, especially when it concerns Mexicanos, Chicanos in this city. I'd like to say a couple of things about some of the suggestions that some of the city fathers have put out, and one was that Mr. Victor Hernandez stay quiet, not row the boat, but if all of you know Victor, you know that Victor has convictions. One, he knows what his rights are as an individual, as a voter, as a councilman. And secondly, he also has a duty. And that duty is a duty to represent us in every way possible. We here in Lubbock, in this barrio, have always counted on Victor to come across with things that we need in terms of getting things done, making things better, and we really appreciate that. So, Victor, I'd like to congratulate you for that, the dedication that you've had in many ways, especially with our barrio here, and I know that you've done it in other barrios also, but if they think that we're going to be satisfied forever, they have nothing coming.
I belong to this district, but I have had a lot of occasions when I needed some advice. I went to see Victor, and he says, let me check it out, and then I'll call you back. And that's the kind of person he is. He does his own work before he says anything. And when Victor speaks, everybody hears, as you can.
Primeramente lo quiero dar las más sinceras gracias a Dios y al Padre y a ustedes, la gente. You are the people. This is your voice. Now, if you want to go to my district, Victor, you can come and represent me, but he does represent everybody because I call him all the time from the east side, and what we would say in the east side, it'd be no thank you, but we say, hell no, we ain't signing that petition. But anyway, been in government for about 30 years now, and being with different elected officials all across the state, senators, representatives, etc., etc. They're there to do a job, and that job is to represent the people who elected them to office. You know, irregardless what the other elected officials might say, they're there to do a job. And I throw my support to Victor. I know I can't vote for you, Victor, but I'm here to support you 110%. May God bless you and your family as you go through this endeavor. And if you really wanted to get in a boxing match or something, you didn't want to do it, just call me and I'll go take care of your light work for you, okay? God bless you. Victor! Victor! Come on up, darling.
Hello, my name is Ruby Tanner. I just heard something from a book. I won't call the name of the book, but it says, oh, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Somebody say amen? Dwell together in unity. I just like to say that, I wish I could speak Spanish, but I can't. I want to say this in English. I've known Victor and his wife since I've been here in Lubbock and began to get involved in politics. I'm not in his district, but I've gotten a chance to meet in various Democratic meetings with him and his wife. And he didn't know that I was watching him. I was seeing how he expressed himself. I was seeing how he was dealing with his votes. And I don't care how you vote, you're going to disappoint somebody. But I noticed that he was a person that's involved with the people, thinking over what it's about, what's best for us. He's going to upset somebody and make somebody happy. But I like that about him, and I have the confidence in him, that he has love it at hand and he understands. He is very experienced, he's not allowed it, but he is experienced in what he does. And I came today to tell you, I am so proud of him. Aren't you proud of him? I am proud of Victor, and I mean that. This is Sunday. This is movie day for me. I got up and put on lashes and everything to get here for Victor today. That's a big deal for me. I'm going to give it up, but I want you to know this. I don't believe in recall when it's not necessary. That's outside of the box. That's taking it too far. It's embarrassing, it's disruptive, and it's not right. But I mean it's not right. I can't even tell you it's not right. Tell your friends and your neighbors it's not right. And amongst all things, let's not have any animosity, bitterness, or anger. So when we say our prayers, God will hear the prayer. God, we need some help. Send us some angels. And let him keep that seat. If you do that, it'll be done. Somebody say amen. It's Sunday, you can say amen.
Amen. Going back to that single district membership, one of the signatures on the charter for you.
Thank you, Jose Luis. I wrote a few notes only because I don't want to get carried away. Those of you that know me know that I can get carried away. First of all, I want to hear from you. What are we going to say to this petition? No, thank you. I will not sign your petition. And there's a few hundred of us here. We got to do more. We got to go out to our neighbors and tell our neighbors this petition's going to come around. What are you going to say? No, thank you. We do not want to sign your petition. Why? Why are we not signing a recall petition? Because we know Victor. We know who he is and we know what he does.
We know that he represents his district. We know that he stands for the good of his entire community. A lot of us don't live in this district, but Victor is our representative because he stands for the people, the good of the community. And he stands with courage. He stands with courage for the common good. He asks the questions that need to be asked. We don't need a wallflower up there. We don't need a representative who doesn't have the courage to get the information that he needs to do the right thing. So that's why we support Victor. He has the right to ask all the questions he wants to ask. He has the duty to ask the questions and to get the information that he needs in order to make the decision. Victor, we're here, we're on your side because you are on our side. You are on the side of health. You're on the side of education. You're on the side of immigrants. We got some people going around, wannabes, that are going around trying to tell us to be moral and ethical. Frankly, I resent this person telling me to be moral and ethical. Is it moral and ethical for somebody to claim that he's a Hispanic and yet he wants to be the leader of the Tea Party to do away with immigrant rights? Is that moral and ethical? No! Is it moral and ethical to want to be the leader of the Tea Party that does not want health care for everybody? Is that moral and ethical? No! We are standing for what is moral and ethical. We're here to support the good, the common good, the good of the people who can't speak for themselves. Thank God we have someone who speaks for us. Is it moral and ethical for these people to go around trying to divide us instead of supporting what we need? No, it's not moral. We are the moral ones. We are the ethical ones. We are the ones that are standing for the common good. Most of us, I'm sure, went to church this morning. The way I read the Word of God, it says, stand up. Stand up for the people. Stand up for what is right. Stand up for what is good for the people. And Victor, thank you, because you are courageous. You stand up. Now it's time for us and for all our neighbors to stand up and say, no, thank you, we will not sign your petition. Thank you.
Let's keep on practicing. No, thank you.
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 All right, another person that has...
En Pi, en Lalo Quirino, en un tiempo J.T. Rey, Angel, en Billy Agüero, en Natalie de Leon. All the work that we've done through the years to get to where we are. And then all of us vote, and then someone's trying to tell us that we all made a mistake. It's wrong. We had fought for this right so many years. I see so many veterans that lost their lives for this. So many people that never came back home from war for the right that we got to vote. For the first time, I think we had accomplished a big goal. Let's not let these people come and take it away from us. This is not about a group. I know que en one time Lula, Jennifer, La Fuerza Grande, La Fuerza Taking Premium Water, todos they work hard for this. But don't get us upset. We'll get together and become a machine, a voting machine. So que ahora toda la gente que se mete en esto, they can help to put this together. Because we stop now, let me tell you, they'll never stop taking away the people that we elect.
You're right.
So gracias a todos. We got some extra ones we're going to put here that you can take with you today and keep passing it on, okay? and thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert. Anybody else? Come on up. Come on up, sir. Okay. All right. Actually, we could form a line right here and just kind of solve it. How you doing?
Thank you. My name is Kenny Kettner. I'm the Lubbock County Democratic Party chairman. Thank you. It's great to be here today to see so many people out here to support Lubbock City Councilman Victor Hernandez. Victor is a force for good, not just in District 1, but for the whole city of Lubbock. Between asking the tough questions and then putting this information out to the whole city, the whole public, through Facebook, through TV, newspapers, the whole 9 yards. Victor is #1 when it comes to transparency. And we thank him for that. And to me, I live elsewhere in the city, but it's obvious to me that this is the same old crowd stirring up trouble. They've never liked Victor. They wanted to get rid of the voice of District 1, regardless of who it is. It's the same old folks stirring up trouble behind all of this. And, you know, we can beat them. We've beaten them before, and we'll beat them this time. So, Victor, we're there to support you. Bubba, appreciate seeing you here today, showing support. And, you know, this is great. This is great to see today. So many people out here to support Victor. Victor, keep doing what you're doing. We're behind you 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny. You do a great job in handling the party as well. Congratulations to you.
My name is Julian Montoya. I'm with La Puesta Grande, and we actually talked about the situation with Victor and things like that, and everything that we do, we vote on, of course. It was unanimous. One of the things that we're the younger generation, you know, we're a new organization and things like that, so we've got lots of research that we have to do. We're inexperienced in certain areas, but we pull together and we try to make it work one way or another in the end. Also with Victor, every time we've got questions and things like that, he's always free to answer the phone. He's kind of a mentor, just like Bubba. I call Bubba all the time, and they help us through the way. And I think in the end,
percent voted that we will support Victor Hernandez in this river because we know that he is right. The other hat that I'm wearing, I am not a District 1 member, but I feel I represent thousands of voters in the other districts that we wish we had a councilman representing us like Mr. Victor Hernandez. Thank you.
Thank you, José. Bienvenidos a todos a esta rally para el Councilman Victor Hernandez. I had the privilege to be part of this. I had the privilege to have a lot of people call in from all parts of Lubbock. I live in District 1. I am a Democrat. I will say that till the last day I have a breath in this world. If you pick up El Periódico El Editor, we wrote an article giving our analysis as for the reason of the recall. And I think a lot of people forget when Leanne Dumbo was hired and what her promise is to us, and she has not made one promise fulfilled till today. I mean, she hasn't done nothing for our community. She promised and she said she was going to come out and talk to us. Have you seen her? No. I can just say maybe one time that I can recall cuando Carlos and Lili Quirino had an Arroyo cleanup. She came. She was very shocked and surprised that this part of the city existed. So that should tell you she's not doing her homework. She's not doing her job. And in my point of view, she's got to go. She really's got to go.
Gotta go.
So I want to say that thank you to all those people that called from all parts of the community, because I even had people from District 5, 6, 4, even 2 said, we wish Victor was our council person. So that should tell you a lot. That should tell you a lot of people feel throughout the community. So, muchas gracias por todos ustedes que salieron a apoyarlos en este rally. Y adelante, Victor, y aquí estamos. Te vamos a guiar, we got your back.
My name is Dr. Brian Carr, and I'm the chairman of the Board of Health for the City of Lubbock. You know, 3 years ago when I was first appointed to the board, I discovered that it wasn't just science, it's also politics. And when we found out about 2 years ago that, unbeknownst to the board, that they were going to attempt to close the health department, we were really in a scramble. And I think it was through Councilman Hernandez that we got some good guidance and some good mentoring. So today, we have a functional, viable health department. Now, there's still lots of challenges. I can tell you if it hadn't been for some of the leadership that he gave us, some of the mentoring where he, at one time he suggested that possibly I stopped going to so many of the city council meetings because I was really irritating some on the council. But we found a way through that, and I'm pleased that we've had the leadership that we have. And in fact, just about 2 weeks ago, 5 of our members have been reappointed for another 3-year terms. And so you'll see even more good action coming out of that board that's going to make this a healthy place for our families and for our children. And I'd just like to say that the councilman is a big part of that, and I hope that we can keep him strong and keep him a strong voice on that council for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, hopefully I won't take too much, but I ran for school board in District 1. And I gotta say, my mentor was Victor Hernandez. He's planting that seed in us that are coming up to be that voice. And if we keep on fighting amongst each other, they're gonna keep taking and taking and taking. Look over here at that park. Those are our future, everybody. And the Board of Trustees, my opponent, I haven't seen him here yet. But I tell you one thing is that they don't want people to be quiet. They want us to be quiet. They don't want a voice. My kids walk the streets. We have passed out flyers. We have done everything, but you know what? My mentor has passed that in me. From my daddy was a oil field guy, and you know what? He never stepped a day in his life in school. But he raised his family. And that says a lot to me, is that, you know what, I'm going to embed that in my children to fight for what we believe in. Because if we don't, they're going to keep taking everybody. And they're going to take, we are the Hispanics. We need to stand up for what we believe in. And like I said, I learned from Maggie Tabian and Mr. Trejo. And Victor, you know what? That's what they want. They don't want you to say anything. They want puppets. And we should not be puppets.
Thank you, Mika. Somebody asked me to let you know about this particular aspect of this whole process, is that the recall that we're facing requires only 488 votes, or signatures rather, 488 signatures. Now, why is that? It's because of the low voter turnout in the last election. If we would have turned out in the same amount of numbers as every other district in this city, that amount would be much higher and much higher to attain. 488 signatures, quite frankly, it's very possible that all they have to do is go to Mr. Robertson's votes and get them. And we're probably going to be facing an election. But what we want to hear now is, I'd like to hear it from you, Victor. If those 488 votes are garnered, let us know whether you would step down or you would run for re-election.
Run again and then win again. Run again and win again.
Again, let me just say thank you for coming out today. First of all, thank you for all the folks that brought food and drink and set up different stations for people. It was really kind of funny because it was not a coordinated effort, and yet it turned out to be very coordinated. So I really appreciate that. I will tell you, and I think we're going to end with this, I'm not sure, but I will tell you that I don't believe if we work together, they'll get enough signatures. I don't believe that if we tell our neighbors and our friends and the people we go to school with and church with, and that we tell them, do not sign anything. And I'm saying that because there are some supporters of mine who are wanting to start their own petition in support of me. And even though I appreciate the sentiment, I think it would be a mistake to have two different petitions going on at one time. So if anybody wants to do that, I would ask you, please don't do that, so that the message is very clear. Do not sign anyone's petition.
Do not sign. Do not sign. Do not
So, thank you, Amelia. So, I will tell you also that if they are successful, then I have no intention whatsoever of resigning my position. This district will not go unrepresented. I will stay there, and they will have to go ahead and have an election, because that's all it does. If they get enough signatures, you have to have an election to recall me. If they get enough folks to recall me, then you hold another election, and I plan to run. So it could very well be the city spends $50,000, $60,000, and we end up where we are today. So it makes no sense any which way you cut it. But we've got to send the message to Isidro Gutierrez. I'm not afraid to say the name. It's not like Harry Potter, he who shall not be named. We have to let Isidro Gutierrez know. We have to let his daughter, Beatriz Perez, know, because she's been showing up to all of these events. We have to let Frank Gutierrez know. And anybody else that's trying to garner these signatures, we respect your right to do whatever it is you want to do, but we're not going to participate. We're not going to do it. God bless you, but go away. There was I like watching movies, and in Fiddler on the Roof is the movie where the Jews are being thrown out of Russia. And as they're being thrown out of Russia, one of the main characters asks the rabbi, "Rabbi, is there a prayer for the Tsar of Russia?" He's like the president of Russia. And the rabbi thought, and he said, "Yes, there is. May God bless and keep the Tsar far away from us." Well, that's what I say to Isidro and Frank. God bless you, but stay away from me. Thank you.
Do not sign. Do not sign. Do not sign. Do not sign.
No, thank you.
Do not sign.
Todavía soplas. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Maggie, come on up. We're going to close it with you because you deserve it. How are you?
¿Cómo están todos? Adelante.
Adelante.
Cuando yo fui elegida, pensé yo en single member district. ¿Qué es esto? Hicimos mucho good en las comunidades afuera de Lubbock. Because I was elected, I didn't understand why people from the outer communities were so interested in me, because I've never been in politics. But because of our election here in Lubbock, single member, we have more minority representatives outside of Lubbock than we have here. That was the impact that we had. And today we're here to ask for, and I know everybody supports Victor, because he is truly our representative, not for our district, for the entire community. So we need to be very strong and get out there and really let the people know what is happening. Because a lot of people don't listen on the news or anything like that. It is up to us to go and talk to the neighbors. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's one word we have to keep in mind, apathy. And let's not get complacent. Let's get the vote out. Let's get people registered. Let's continue con el movimiento de Gonzalo, Roberto, and many of our forefathers, Emilio, which was a part of that as well, have continued and started. Please, ladies and gentlemen, before we disperse, keep that in mind and spread the word about what went on today. Olga, does that conclude it? All right, before we conclude, I'd like to ask everyone, please clean up after yourself, because I can tell you Isidro is going to call Parks and Recs tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us on behalf of Victor Hernandez, on behalf of the Democratic Party. Thank you so much and have a safe drive home. Oh, and by the way, there's still lots of hot dogs over there. Go get